Here's your First Warn Weather Forecast First, sponsored by Anderson Collision Center. Visit driveanderson.com.
Well, we had some showers, and we still do have a few very isolated showers and a couple of thunderstorms rolling across the area. Not expecting anything to be severe with this. In fact, some of these showers kind of dissipating, but you've probably noticed those clouds building up as a cold front moves in, moving into that more humid air mass. Temperatures currently sit in the upper 70s and low 80s, but that heat index is up for most. We are going to get some drier air that moves in later tonight behind that cold front, but through the next hour or two, we may still see those isolated showers and thunderstorms. Drier conditions as temperatures drop through the 60s here as we go through the night tonight. We'll look at some recent storm reports that have come in from yesterday's storm, and even looking back to Sunday night's storms and how long we hold on to the drier weather. That's coming up in the First Warn forecast a little later.
A Rockford man's in custody on murder charges. He's wanted in last month's shooting on Haskell Avenue.
Plus, cleanup efforts are underway tonight after severe weather rolled through the state line. The widespread damage being reported.
And cutting the ribbon on the latest state line art project. How one artist doesn't let his color blindness hold him back.
Live from WTVO 17. This is Eyewitness News at 5.
Good evening, I'm Mimi Murphy.
And I'm Wendell Edwards. We thank you for being with us tonight. Tonight, a second suspect has been arrested in the killing of a Rockford man.
Timothy Chatman was taken into police custody early this morning. Chatman and Eric Townsend are both charged with first-degree murder in the death of Marquel Reddick. On June 26th, Rockford police were called to Haskell Avenue for reports of a shooting. There they found Marquel Reddick lying on a sidewalk with gunshot wounds. The 29-year-old was taken to the hospital where he later died. Chatman and Townsend are being held in the Winnebago County Jail. Police are still searching for a third suspect. Tyree Anderson's charged with armed robbery in connection to Reddick's murder. If you have any information on where he can be found, contact Rockford Police or Rockford Area Crime Stoppers.
Tonight, we now know the name of the Rockford man that drowned in a flooding accident over the weekend. The Winnebago County Coroner's Office identified him as Dean Gulbranson. Late Sunday night, Gulbranson was a passenger in a pickup truck that tried to pull into the Schnucks parking lot on Charles Street. Rushing water pulled that truck into Keith Creek, where it began to sink. The driver was pulled to safety, but first responders were unable to rescue Gulbranson. His cause of death is being ruled as a drowning.
Rockford area residents deal with flooded basements and downed trees.
Eyewitness News reporter Jess Lipson went out to talk to some of those residents tonight. Just many people are dealing with some significant damage.
Wendell, Mimi, really so much destruction for some. I spoke with one Rockford woman who was thankful about her porch, or was thankful only her porch was hit by a falling tree, simply because her neighbor had a tree go through her roof. High winds and heavy rain left many without power. Tanya Prine was one of those residents. She spoke about the magnitude of it all while having to remain in the basement, even with all the crashing she heard coming from outside her house.
Never had this kind of damage in the 40 years I've been out here, ever. This was definitely the worst and hardest hit. I mean, it's scary because you don't know if it's still coming or if anything else is going to happen, and it was terrifying to be sitting down there and watching and waiting for it to all end.
Later at 6, we'll hear more from Tanya and her experiences, as well as the complications ComEd is facing as they deal with power outages in the Midwest and the South. Mimi?
All right, thanks, Jess. And speaking of those power outages, thousands of people across the state line are still without power. ComEd says last night's storms left over 430,000 customers without electricity across northern Illinois. So far, power has been restored to 295,000 customers. Crews are facing downed power lines, broken poles, fallen trees and limbs. ComEd plans to have 80% of customers' power restored by 3 tomorrow afternoon.
Working diligently, we have an all-hands-on-deck approach right now for our staffing. We have 3,000 people that are on the system right now. 1,400 have come in from outside the territory. In fact, 300 people have come in from Canada to come help.
ComEd says if you do see a downed power line, assume it is powered, stay far away, and report it to the company.
The state of Illinois is teaming up with the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency.
Quantum computing has the potential to unlock scientific and technological advances previously thought impossible. Unhackable cybersecurity, biopharmaceutical cures for diseases that previously took decades could occur in just months.
The partnership is called the DARPA Illinois Quantum Proving Ground. Quantum computing prototypes will be tested and evaluated as part of the initiative. The state and federal governments will commit up to $140 million each initially. The impact of this program is projected to be $6 billion in economic benefits and possibly thousands of new jobs.
Brookfield Zoo unveils a major plan to transform and revolutionize the facility. Zoo officials call it the Next Century Plan. It's a $500 million initiative that will reshape nearly half the park over the next 15 years. Under the plan, the zoo will create new immersive experiences for guests while preserving historical structures. It also calls for westward expansion and development of current zoo property. Officials hope this will solidify the zoo's role as a leader in global wildlife conservation. Boone County Animal Services provides an update after dozens of dogs are abandoned at a Belvedere park. All 40 of the pups found at Hammertime Dog Park have now been transferred to rescues. Wagging Hearts, North Central Maltese Rescues, Cause for Paws Rescue, and Illinois and Bonafide Rescue have taken in the animals. Boone County Animal Services encourages people to donate to those rescues as they care for all those pups.
The city of Byron unveils its latest art project. A new mural can be seen on the front of Byron City Hall. This is the third painting commissioned by the city. It took a month to design it and a week to paint. The mural is called Remain in Light and was created by artist Brett Whitaker. Whitaker is colorblind and uses color gradients to paint.
Just put the right color in the right place, you know? It's kind of simple. I think it's easier going bigger. Other than getting yourself physically to the spot, but a boom lift really makes that easy. It solves the problem. But think about doing a large portrait of a face on a wall this big and thinking about doing it this big. Easier going bigger, easier to work detail.
So pretty, so big. Whitaker has painted several other murals in the state line, including Loves Park in his hometown of Belvedere. It's the second day of the Republican National Convention in Milwaukee.
Up next, how President Biden looks to distance himself from recent political violence.
And coming up at 6, supporting local students, the thousands of dollars in grants helping train the next generation of programmers.
And you may see a quick shower or two here for the next hour. Otherwise, our skies remain partly to mostly cloudy, a little humid out there, but that goes away by tomorrow. How long the drier conditions stick around coming up in the first warn forecast a little later.
You're watching Eyewitness News, your home team, with Mimi Murphy, Wendell Edwards, Scott Leber, and Chief Meteorologist Candace King.
Welcome back. The Republican National Convention enters its second night. Former President Trump stole the show last night with his surprise and dramatic appearance, complete with his bandaged ear.
Mary Alice Parks is inside the convention hall in Milwaukee with more on what to expect today and President Biden's return to the campaign trail in Nevada.
Cheers as former President Donald Trump made a dramatic entrance to his party's convention in Milwaukee. Ear bandaged, wounded from that assassination attempt. Trump's newly minted running mate, Ohio Senator J.D. Vance, returning to the Pfizer Forum this afternoon. Vance had in 2016 called Trump dangerous and unfit, but in the Senate now, a fierce defender of the former president. This year telling our George Stephanopoulos had he been the vice president, he would not have certified the 2020 election results, despite Joe Biden's clear win. He would have let Congress decide.
If I had been vice president, I would have told the states like Pennsylvania, Georgia, and so many others that we needed to have multiple slates of electors, and I think the U.S. Congress should have fought over it from there.
The first night of the convention, an appeal to Democrats' base. Teamsters President Sean O'Brien addressing Republicans, the first boss from the powerful union to do so.
Today, the Teamsters are here to say we are not beholden to anyone or any party.
Democrats pushing back. The head of the AFL-CIO in Milwaukee, alongside Democratic leaders, calling Biden the most pro-union president in history.
Will my life be better when Trump lets my company force me to work overtime without overtime pay?
President Biden back on the campaign trail in Nevada, we're told he will continue to draw sharp contrast with Trump, even as he urges the country to lower the political temperature and condemn political violence, saying it was a mistake for him to have told donors just days before the shooting, time to put Trump in a bullseye.
It was a mistake to use the word. I didn't say crosshairs. I meant bullseye. I meant focus on him. Focus on what he's doing.
Tonight, we are expecting to hear from some of Trump's former opponents, including Nikki Haley, the party clearly wanting to send a message that they are united behind the former president. Mary Alice Parks, ABC News, Milwaukee.
Well, the state line should see quiet weather through the rest of the week.
We've kind of earned it, right?
Yes.
When we come back, Candace tells us about a cool down and temperatures also coming our way. Next.
Now, your first warned weather forecast from Chief Meteorologist Candace King.
Well, it has been a very busy last few days with the flooding that took place Saturday night, the heavy rain and flooding, and then severe weather on Sunday, and of course the severe weather that came through yesterday. Things are much more quiet out there this evening. However, the National Weather Service has been out over the course of this morning and afternoon. They've got a lot of ground to cover, surveying damage from the storms that occurred both Sunday night as well as last night. Now, while locally for us last night, we do not have any reports coming back, they were able to confirm that an EF0 tornado touched down in far eastern Ogle County. This was just southwest of Esmond, traveled to the southeast, was on the ground for just over 3 miles, had a path width of 100 yards, or it was 100 yards wide, peak winds of 75 miles per hour. So that was an EF0 tornado that occurred Sunday night, crossing over the Ogle-DeKalb County line. Started just a little before 9 o'clock, before ending just a little after 9 o'clock. And as I mentioned, began southwest of Esmond, traveling to the southeast, lifting near McQueen Road. Actually produced a bit of damage, tree as well as crop damage throughout that area. I know there were some cemetery stones that were also toppled over or completely moved as a result of that tornado. So quite a bit of damage, and that corn kind of flattened as that path and that tornado went through. Here are the storm reports from what we had yesterday. We added on quite a few of those from late yesterday evening through this morning. Notice the expansive nature of the wind damage, as well as those high wind reports and heavy rain reports too. So it may be another couple days before the Weather Service wraps up some of those damage surveys. Good news, however, things are going to be much more quiet. Now, we have had a couple of showers and a few isolated thunderstorms. This one particular shower, this is really starting to fade now as it's just to the west here of Poplar Grove. You had some building clouds ahead of a cold front. Still pretty muggy out there, so that was able to develop just a little bit of instability to allow some showers and some isolated thunderstorms to develop in southern Wisconsin, but they're moving southeast, so they are fizzling out. We may still see an isolated shower too. Low 80s, that's where our current temperatures sit right now, but we still have those dew point temperatures that are in the 70s, so it's still pretty muggy out there. Our weather watcher Terry in Genoa, 81, dew point sits at 74, and a westerly wind at 13 miles per hour. Low 70s for those dew point temperatures currently, but watch what happens. You've got some drier air there to the north with those dew point temperatures in the 50s, and that does move in our direction here as we go throughout tonight and then through the course of tomorrow. We may see some clouds kind of build up into the afternoon tomorrow, but it will feel much more comfortable because we've got that drier air moving in. So here we go with future casts. You've got some clouds overhead. Temperatures tonight will drop down into the low 60s. Tomorrow we'll see sunshine. Afternoon clouds build up. Temperatures are right around 80. We drop into the 50s then for tomorrow night going into Thursday. Thursday's high in the upper 70s. And again, some cloud cover building up as we go through the afternoon. We're limited on moisture with that, so I think we stay fairly dry, but we could see the chance for some showers return as we head in towards the end of the weekend and then early next week. We've got a little low pressure system that does pass down to the south of us. So we're 80 degrees for tomorrow, 78 for Thursday. Look at those overnight lows too in the 50s, and we'll stay in those lower 80s through the end of the week.
Thank you, Candace.
Scott's next with sports. All-star baseball action plays out tonight. We'll hear from one rookie who will be a key player.
And the Bears' top rookies can focus completely now on football now that they've got some business taken care of off the field.
Now sports with sports director Scott Lever.
They are ready to play ball tonight in Arlington, Texas for the MLB All-Star Game. 31 first-time All-Stars will be in uniform, including White Sox pitcher Garrett Crochet and Cubs pitcher Shota Imanaga. And then there is Pirates rookie pitcher Paul Skeens, who will be the starting pitcher for the National League Stars. Just last year, he was taken #1 overall in the draft. It's been 29 years since a rookie pitcher has started an All-Star Game. That was Hideo Nomo. Now, Skeens and his blazing fastball are deserving of the honor.
Pretty dang cool to even be in this position to be at the All-Star game in the first place. And looking at the lineup, yeah, there are no breaks there. There's no free outs. I mean, it is the All-Star game, but yeah, looking forward to attacking them each head on.
Do not tune in late for this one because you don't want to miss Skeens. The All-Star Game will be shown on Fox 39 and starts at 7 o'clock. There's a pregame show right before that. The Bears are ready to get to work. Their first training camp practice will be Saturday in Lake Forest. Rookies reported today, and top draft picks Caleb Williams and Rome Odunze are ready to go. They both signed contracts today. Both get 4-year deals with a 5th-year team option. Williams will make $39 million over 4 years. Odunze will make $22.7 million. Little NBA news for you. The Bucks have signed veteran free agent guard Gary Trent Jr. He gets a 1-year contract. Trent averaged 13.7 points per game last season for the Raptors. He is reunited with Damian Lillard. They were teammates in Portland a few years ago. Bronny James is getting paid by the Lakers. LeBron James' son gets a 4-year guaranteed contract with almost $8 million total. That's not big money by NBA standards, but it's pretty good for a second-round draft pick. Generally, second-round picks in the NBA don't get guaranteed money. Former NBA player Joe Jellybean Bryant has died. He was the father of the late Kobe Bryant. Joe Bryant was 69 years old. He recently suffered a massive stroke. He played 8 seasons in the NBA, most of them with the 76ers. That's sports. We'll be right back.
Well, it's nice to hear there's going to be some drying out time in your forecast.
Yeah, and a little more comfortable too. We've had some pretty sticky days, especially following some of the heavy rainfall. It's only added to that moisture that we've had, so it'll be nice to kind of dry things out. Now, I will say it's not going to feel, like late fall kind of conditions with a really, really comfortable air because, let's face it, we still do have a lot of moisture, so that does have to go somewhere.
And it's July.
And it's July, right? Yeah, and it's July, but a little better than what we've had experienced the last few days. So temperatures for tonight are down into the low to mid 60s. We're 80 tomorrow, upper 70s on Thursday. Next couple of days, we could see a few more clouds into the afternoon, 80s through the weekend.
Thank you, Candace.
And thanks for joining us. We'll see you at 6.